kind of crashed out, I'm not gonna lie.
We all crash out from time to time.
Right.
What happened at the airport?
I grew up in foster care. So
What?
yeah, I was drugged up on 25 pills a day.
Damn.
How is that legal?
I moved over to like 400 foster homes. It's been documented in the
What
16
the fuck?
years. Yeah.
It's like solitary
insane.
confinement for a
Literally.
child.
Right? Stole cans of SpaghettiOs from the store.
I make that make sense though, because like, how'd you get
That's
to the
very
store?
young.
My dad was sterile.
Sterile means that you literally
You cannot have
Yeah.
kids. A miracle
Connect the-
baby.
connect
God
the
bless
pieces.
me.
Dang,
Yeah.
the one note wonder.
I'm coming out on my steering wheel locks and I run into this other freaking car right as we crashed and I'm like, they wasn't in the car at the time.
You crashed into a parked car?
Yeah.
You would classify yourself as like a good driver.
I get a knock at the door, like boom, 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 boom. 2:36 a.m.
It's a very specific time. This must be traumatic.
Hey, is this your 2023 Buick Enclave outside? I'm like, yeah. They're like, well, it kind of blew up in flames and it's completely totaled.
What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Tay Crew. This is the Call ATM podcast. Call ATM stands for Conversations About Life and Legacy to Amplify the Message. This is episode number 5. I'm sitting here with my co-host,
I'm Tyron Barney.
and we have a surprise guest.
My name's Malexa G. Nice to meet y'all.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Hey, hey. All right, so, I just feel like the people, they want to know, what happened at the airport?
What are you talking about at the airport? A lot of things went down. If you haven't walked in the shoes, baby, you don't even know what goes on behind the screens. I just went through a lot of vulnerable times in my years, and reaching out to the community, it really felt like connecting with people. I didn't have a lot of support growing up,
I feel that.
And
I
so,
feel that.
like, growing up, I just felt like community connection was like real and authentic, and I felt like it was the only way that I could really like reach authentic people that would like understand what I'm going through.
Yeah, I mean, we all go through like emotional moments where like it feels like the world is like crashing down on us, and like
100%.
we don't know who to turn to. And in today's society, it's like the phone is right there, so I might as well pull
Right.
it out and see who's gonna connect with me. But I just feel like a lot of people, because it did get a lot of views, just have never been able to see like a more like authentic side of you. And
Yeah.
we don't condone bullying, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
you never know what somebody's actually going through, and when you type
Right.
words on a screen, you have no idea the impact that it has on people. And so
Right.
I just wanted to really give you the opportunity to like clear that up and just to like let everybody know like how that actually affected you.
Yeah. I was in a position to where I felt very vulnerable. And it's not like the best like position to be in, because I don't want to come off as like a victim of things, like I want to come off as somebody that's really just trying to like seek understanding. I want you to understand where I'm coming from, and I want support from that understanding. But then when it leads me to vulnerability, like where it's putting me into trouble or like,
A negative
misjudgment,
light.
right?
Yeah.
Things like that. It's just really hard to regulate like how to take that, especially when you're coming from somebody that's trying to pursue a social media personality versus like trying to be in private, trying to be your own self. And so I was just going through a lot of hard times, and I don't feel like a lot of people walked in my specific shoes, but they've had similarities to where they've experienced certain things that they can connect to. So I was just going through a lot. I felt like it was the only option that I can feel that I can seek support, and so I kind of crashed out, I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, we all crash out from time to time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, it can happen. It can definitely happen. So like looking back on that experience, like would that have been the specific outlet you would have turned to if you could go back and not do that maybe?
I can't really answer that question, because I've grown from that point of view from now. Like I've learned so many different things on how to handle my emotions or how to handle this or that, and like because growing up, I grew up in foster care. So yeah, like it was a really hard experience to grow up and to understand that like you have control over your certain emotions, but like when you're growing up in foster care, they give you like medications to be on. I was in high school, like almost 300 pounds, believe it or not.
What the
You may think I look this good, but baby, like I was so overweight. I got so misjudged for like who I was throughout foster care.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of friends.
Because like obviously, like, me and him both, we've had very similar like upbringings. And what is it like going through foster care, and like what age did that happen at?
I mean, I can't say specifically for other people, but for my specific experience, it was so hard because I was bouncing around almost every week. It felt like, you
Different
know,
families every week?
yeah, like it was almost like a different life every week. Like you had to figure out what these parents wanted for you and what they expected out of you, and like there's certain experience in like their living environments, um, and also figuring yourself out throughout the trauma and the time and the things that you're trying to
Yeah.
regulate throughout that time. But for me, I was drugged up on 25 pills a day.
Damn.
Holy, wait, hold on, whoa, rewind. You're talking about like as a kid, you were
Yeah.
on 25 different medications?
25 different.
How is that
medications.
legal? Like, how is that actually like legal for a doctor to like see that?
I really don't know, but I highly believe that like in our society nowadays, like they try to make things as easy as they can for foster parents. So
Huh.
if you don't have to like spend one-on-one time with a foster child to like, okay, this is how you regulate your emotions, whatever it is, want to put you in therapy and also like on pills.
That's extremely traumatic. It almost makes me feel like, bro, like why would you sign up to be a foster parent if you didn't want to raise a kid?
Right.
Literally. Where did they, like, how did that system work? They get
Money.
Oh.
Money, baby,
okay.
money.
So wait, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I didn't know. So like foster parents get paid to have these kids?
They do, yeah. So they get like a monthly amount, from what I've heard. Like they get paid for
Like from the state?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Hey,
It's crazy.
That's wild, because then like that's like a whole like business of kids being raised for just a check and not really actually getting that support from their parents. So
Right.
okay, everything is starting to make a lot of sense, because like again, like our background is much different. Like we both grew up in single mother homes, granted, from what I understand. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. But like
Yeah.
we very loving. Like I never wanted for anything. Like if I wanted something
Right.
from the grocery store, from the back when not Blockbuster. I'm not trying to give my age away, but I get movies and video games and all sorts of stuff whenever I wanted. So like my
Right.
mom was hard working, and like she did it all by herself with, we had support from my grandpa, of course. He's like a father figure to me, but like who was your like idols growing up without like going from house to house to house?
I didn't have much of idols because for me, it was more of like emotional and mental stability. I really wanted something that I know that I can keep, and I didn't have to like grasp on like losing that stability. So like it gives me PTSD when I'm regulating between like I gotta move from this foster home to this foster home. Remind you, I moved over to like 400 foster homes. It's been documented in the court.
400?
In the court,
400?
400
Wow.
foster homes in my 16 years of being in the foster care system.
What
16
the fuck?
years. Yeah, it's been crazy.
That doesn't even give you like time to like feel like loved or cared for at all, bouncing
Right.
from house to house. Like,
Yeah.
how do you think that that's kind of like affected maybe some of like your relationships and like learning how to have like that like connection with somebody if that's kind of how you grew up?
I feel like it was more of just like, it was a fast process. I didn't have time to really express or like go through the emotions. The same as like growing up on foster care, like they wanted you to be on pills. They wanted to take the easy way out and like to control you into a way where they didn't have to do a lot of work, where they didn't have to put in a lot of work towards you and like raise you like this is right from wrong, So for me, like going up through that experience, it was really hard to like understand that I felt like I had to rush myself. So I got a lot of my main experiences later on in life,
Uh-huh.
to learn these different things. And I've learned a lot. Like I don't regret going through a lot of this trauma, but I've learned a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, because we all know you make music, right? And you have like a pretty big, social media following, but I don't think people know
Yeah.
any of this stuff about you.
Right. It's taken a lot of different ways to kind of figure it
No,
out.
like it takes a lot of like courage to, actually speak your truth in front of, thousands of people, because, a lot of people watch what we do. We provide a platform that just lets people be like their authentic self. And so,
Mhm.
wow, that gives me like an entirely new perspective on you and like just in general, how blessed I was growing up, how I did. And it's just, that's insane. And so, okay, so you're born, you're in foster care, and you went through a bunch of kind of like traumatic situations, which led ultimately to what happened at the airport. So where do you find yourself at today?
I feel like when you start to go through experiences personally, I feel like you start to understand why you went through them. And rather than finding excuses to like, this bad thing happened to me and this is why I feel that way because of the bad things happened to me. I feel like it's more of a way to try to help build yourself. And so when I'm looking at music, that's the only thing I've ever lived for. Only my music and my kids. It's gave me a purpose to live for. Otherwise, what's the point of this life? I'm just waking up every day to live the same day every day again. That makes no sense. But when music came into my life, it was at a young age. It started at 3 years old. I started singing and I started really actually like, I could listen to a song 1 or 2 times and I know all the lyrics to it.
Okay.
So like knowing from that, and then I started my career from putting this pretend. I had this studio set to where like I had this studio set where I would put it up against the wall and I'd pretend like it was an actual music studio. And I'd rap to it and I'd have so many notebooks that I would write down lyrics to and like grow as a person. I'm like, I'm going to be something someday. Like, da 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 da. But looking down now, it's grown me into the person that I am today. It's found me a purpose, but also like the bad things that I went through, I'm more of the person that don't try to put myself as a victim.
That's good.
Yeah, of course.
It's good not to have a victim mentality because
Yeah.
everything you went through, it was horrible. So I've heard,
Right.
but it made you stronger. And like, that's what you need as an artist, right? You got to have tough skin because,
Yeah.
yo, the media, y'all wild, man. Like I was saying, like, imagine you just go through like the most
Yeah.
horrible experience and TMZ comes up and goes, how's your divorce going? How does it feel to, you know?
Oh my gosh.
And you're
Everywhere.
like, hey, yo, can you chill out? But because you're on a public
Right.
sidewalk, there's nothing you can do.
Right.
Which is why we kind of get the Kanye West freakouts where he hits his whole shit on the sign, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, wiles out on
Yeah.
people, like, why are you filming me?
Yeah.
But it's also like you're in a public space, and that's what you have to accept as an artist that has influences.
Right.
People are going to give a fuck about what you got going on.
Right.
You
right.
said music gave you purpose.
Yeah.
So what about music? Were there artists that kind of you looked up to that gave you inspiration? That gave
Oh
you
God,
that
do not
that
say
support?
Cardi B. I feel like Cardi B. I feel
No,
like a Cardi B moment is coming. Hot
Hey,
girl
don't
summer.
get me wrong. Cardi B is great. I love her. She's a badass bitch. But no, growing up, it was more of just like, it kind of fell into me in a natural way. It was more of like, I knew if I could listen to a song 1 or 2 times, I knew every lyric to it. I didn't understand why I could grasp onto that. And then when I started getting older, I started taking this like studio set where it was like a CD player, and then I had 2 speakers and I mounted to the wall and act like it was my studio, and then I started writing my songs to it. I didn't even know as a young age that there was this thing such towards like beats that you could actually write your lyrics to, you know? So I started expressing myself through that. And then once I found out that like there's producers out there that put beats, like I started investing more and more. It was more of a natural experience. It wasn't something that like I saw somebody else doing it and I wanted to do something like it. It was more of just like my way of expressing, and that like kind of that free spirit and like that comfortable space where I can open up to, you know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I put my emotions and everything too, because I didn't feel comfortable growing up in foster care to like expressing things to my foster parents or my foster sisters or brothers. You
Having
know?
to tell the same story 400 times would be frustrating for
100%.
anybody,
Oh, yeah.
especially for a little
Yeah.
kid. Like, I can't even believe that. But yo, you brought up something like that I really resonate with. So, like, how I got into the music business was it was actually a homework assignment for me. So I grew up like acting, right? So my mom, she
Yeah.
got me into acting really young and modeling and stuff. And so
Yeah.
my senior year of high school, like everybody around me was making music, and I was at a performing arts school where I was studying to, you know, start taking the stage.
Okay.
And we had a video editing assignment, which was super lame. I mean, this teacher wanted us to edit some shit from like the 80s. I'm talking like real, like the camera's like 780p, if
Yeah.
that, like it's whack. And so I went up to her one day, I was like, listen, the entire class is bored as fuck.
Right.
Like, this is not working. Why don't I'm going to go out and buy a beat. I'm going to go record a song. And then if I can organize the class to come film a music video for us,
Yeah.
will you give us all extra credit? And she goes, yeah. Thinking I'm not going to really do it. Boom,
Yeah.
that weekend, I actually took the bus to a studio. I called the first one that I found,
Wow.
and like I Googled their name. I found a studio. I went and wrote a song, and we ended up recording that. And I organized everybody. And that's how I got the name Tay Crew. Because my mom comes down and she's like, look at Tay and his crew. Look at Tay and his little crew. Because I'm over here like organizing everybody to do everything. that video, after we released it, it ended up getting about 10,000 views on YouTube. And then I got an offer to
Wow.
perform with the Yin Yang twins from that
So
experience.
that's how you came up with your name brand.
That's how, shout out to my mama. You did
Shout
me a
out to your
solid
mama.
one. But yeah, that's how the last, kind of the last name came. And so I really resonate with like needing an outlet to be able to
Yeah.
just express yourself, because it can be tough these days. Like,
For real.
Definitely,
Yeah,
yeah.
100%.
yeah, and hearing your experience, like, I can't even imagine the sort of like trauma that you get from bouncing to house to house to house. Because I mean, it was hard enough for me not growing up with like a father. Like the first
Yeah.
time I ever spoke with my dad was when I was 18 and I just went viral on World Star.
Wow.
Well, like I had allegedly met him when I was a little kid, but like
Uh-huh.
I don't remember that. So maybe from like
Right.
3 till 18, no conversations. I'm like wondering like who my dad is. I would be watching movies and wondering like, is that my dad? Like, he kind of looks like me, right? Like, because I wanted to be an actor and I knew he did too.
Yeah.
So like, I just kind of wanted to be, something that I knew would get his attention. And so I completely understand where you're coming from. Like, that's hard. Well, I mean, I can't understand it from your shoes, but like from my own point of view, I
from
can
a
resonate
similarity
with
point
it,
of view,
Yeah.
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 And this motherfucker be mad quiet over here. What's your experience, man?
Yeah.
With music, because I definitely found that as a creative outlet at a young age as well. And similar to your story, it was from video editing.
Yeah.
And I just played around. I guess the very first thing I ever did that was musical was fucking... You remember back in like 2008, like the dawn of YouTube? Like, I don't know if you remember this, but there were like chipmunk videos of like popular songs.
Talk about some Alvin and the Chipmunk shit.
Literally,
That's
Alvin and the
crazy.
Chipmunks. So I was like, oh, this is fucking hard, bro.
Do you remember the Alvin and the Chipmunks where Alvin was Michael Jackson and he was like doing like the whole dance and stuff?
No.
Oh man, well,
You don't remember that?
I don't.
You do? All right, listen, if you guys don't remember it, it's playing right here.
So I saw that and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do something like that. So I literally, it's one of my earliest memories doing this, but we were like house sitting for my great grandparents, and I was just sitting there on my little dinky little laptop that my mom got me from Costco that I begged her for months to get me, and I was just
He said
recording.
dinky.
I was recording me beatboxing. and then I would just pitch it all the way up, and then I would go into like Microsoft Paint and do like a little chipmunk with a microphone, and then I'd put that on YouTube, thinking
wow.
it was
Dang.
hot shit.
But that's mad creative though for
Yeah,
like a kid to
for
do
real.
that back in those days when we were like had Audacity, and like that was like the
Literally,
editing
yeah.
software was Audacity, where it was a one track
Right.
type of deal. Like
Yeah.
that's wild.
So that was the infancy, and then throughout junior high and high school, I just fell in love. Not really fell in love, but I always had an affinity for creating videos and then kind of like making shitty beats,
Mhm.
Mhm.
so to speak. To
You got to start
like,
from somewhere.
exactly, yeah. Humble beginnings, but
Mhm.
that kind of evolved into what I'm doing now with all the AI stuff. So
Yeah.
it's like it's still a means of creative expression, but
Mhm.
it's just putting my thoughts both visually and like musically, and then just combining the two. So
Okay.
that's
Okay.
long-winded
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah, man.
Love that.
Motherfucker's crazy with his AI shit. His page be going mega viral, and like I know y'all have seen those AI videos of the old ladies getting these fucking shit cracked. With the fucking, it's just funny. I feel like that's my entire algorithm at this point. But okay, so all three of us, we can really connect and resonate just based on like music alone.
Yep.
What do you feel like are maybe some of your other creative outlets? I mean, I did see you cook some pretty wild shit on Instagram the other day. So is like cooking one of them for you?
Cooking is so therapeutic for me because I come from a background where I've never had a chance in foster care where I've sat down and actually had a dinner with somebody at a dinner table.
Really?
Yeah.
What was it? What was dinner like for you back then?
For me, it was more of like I stayed in this foster care. I had a placement where they would bring me dinner to my rooms. I wasn't allowed in the kitchen. I wasn't allowed in the bathroom. I had to be escorted to every other room in the house.
That's
It
like
was
solitary
insane.
confinement for a
Literally.
child.
Right? No, it was insane.
Wow.
But at the time, it kind of made sense because like maybe they didn't trust me. I didn't know what the background was, but it was more of like I craved to like that authentic family style. I wanted to sit at a dinner table every single night and just have a dinner with a family and like connect with people individually. And it was so hard to like accept that reality. But I also come from a background where like maybe I wasn't fed the way that I need to be fed. Back in the days with my birth mom, like, all I remember is being the oldest sibling, taking care of 4 other siblings that were younger than me. And I was 2 years old. So put this in reality, like, other siblings were like way younger than me. So I had to feed, bathe, like, do everything I can. I even stole cans of SpaghettiOs from the store just to feed my siblings because that's all I knew of as a 2-year-old, right?
Wait, back up. Hold on, time out. You're saying at 2 years old,
Yes.
you stole spaghetti?
I did.
But
SpaghettiOs.
But kind of make that make sense though, because like, how'd you get
That's
to the
very
store?
young.
Like, how did you? I think most kids are barely like kind of walking or running at that point, right?
Yeah. I was really intelligent for my age. I just kind of like knew more of like I had to do something, and I feel like that's and that goes into a long story of like my adult years or whatever. But as a child, like it was more of like I have these kids that I have to take care of. My mom's not here. My dad's not here. I don't even know who the heck my dad is. Like, what the heck? I didn't even know who my dad was. All I knew is I had these siblings to take care of, and we had this little grocery store around the corner. I'd like walk to it, and
At 2 years old,
2 years old, 2-3 years old, yeah.
What the? Where is this at, by the way?
Roosevelt, Utah. So
Oh,
it's like a
small
little
town.
small town.
Wait. Do you know what is crazy? Is like Roosevelt, Utah, is where my dad's dad actually was at, and
Shit.
I can testify this is the smallest town
That is insane.
I've ever seen. So I bet you like at some point like my great grandfather and maybe your relatives like they had to know each other. Like this is literally like an old Western town. Like you have a long road. And that's about it. When I was down there, and this was years ago, like they didn't even have like a Walmart. They had none of that.
The Walmart's like 1 hour away, and freaking you have Roosevelt and then you have Verno. You have to like go an hour away just to go to Walmart.
And like Utah is big. It's a huge state.
Yeah.
But like the only places that people really like cultivate at is like more up north towards Salt Lake City down to like maybe Provo and like that gap. But anything that's like after that starts to get real
desert.
Yeah, hills have eyes type shit.
Yeah.
So like you will never find the body if you go to, you know what I'm saying? Like it is crazy down there, which is wild because it's like, yo, how are they talking about we got overpopulation in this world when it's like just in Utah alone, there's so like driving from Utah to Vegas, there's fucking hours and hours where you don't see shit.
Yep.
Right? Which is crazy.
Mountains and everything. You just think, cool.
Yeah.
An occasional Indian reservation, and that's it.
That's a fact, but barely even that.
Yeah.
Which is nuts. But that's wild that, you know, like, because that's where, you know, my grandfather was raised is in Roosevelt. Wow. Mind blown a little bit. So you're stealing SpaghettiOs at 2 years old.
Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah. What happens kind of after that? Are all your siblings, because obviously, if, you know, like a parent shouldn't be letting their 2-year-old leave the home unattended. Right. So what happened to the rest of your siblings?
So, you know, we actually had this crazy wild experience. I actually went to the store one time and this cop like was like, "Why are you putting this in your sweatshirt?" And I was like, "Well, my siblings have to eat. We're hungry." And he offered to give me a ride home, and he drove us home and was like, you know, like checked out our whole thing. And like, I didn't know, obviously, as a 2-year-old, I didn't know what was going on. I was just kind of like, yeah, like this is my home. This is my mom. Like she's never rarely here. And I have to feed my siblings and I have to bathe them and I have to do this and this. But as a 2-year-old, you don't really recognize that like those are not your responsibilities, right? Unless the way that you grew up, that's something you had to adapt into. And so that was something that was really hard for me. It affected me later on in years, obviously, as an adult and whatever. But I remember, like, they arresting my mom. Yeah. It was...
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. That seems pretty fucking appropriate.
It was really a crazy experience. But, like, and it's sad, too, coming from, like, being an adult now. Because it's, like, I care so much about my mom. She gave birth to me. My dad was sterile. Remind you, he could not.
Wait, hold on. We throw in some crazy. Correct me if I'm wrong, but sterile means that you literally cannot have
kids.
Yeah. But yet here you are.
Yes, I'm a miracle baby.
You're gonna bless me. Are we in the presence of an immaculate conception?
A demigod. Demigoddess.
Wait, no, but you're not like you're not joking when you say this. Like,
no,
how do you know your dad was sterile?
So my mom had said that, and my dad had said that like later on in my life. I didn't know much about like
But
my
like,
life
is
until
he?
later.
And this might be mad inappropriate, but like,
Yeah.
you think he's just saying that so he can maybe shoot the club up one time? Like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, that doesn't seem like out of the realm of possible. Because like, I'm just saying, like, that out of all the stories you've told, that one is a
Yeah.
tough one for my little noodle to kind of overcome. Like,
Right.
if you're sterile, I didn't think you could like have kids. A lot of men
actually have
struggle
kids.
with like actually being able to have kids these days.
That reminds me, my buddy went to boot camp for the Marines, and he got kicked in the chest during physical training, and so he got medically discharged. But
Oh my
it like
gosh.
blew up one of his testicles, and then it like fused to the other one. So the doctor said he would never have kids.
You're
Oh
saying,
my God,
wait, hold
what the
on.
hell?
He got kicked in the
He
chest.
got kicked in the chest, and the pressure blew up one of his testicles, and it healed wrong. So they fused together. So he had like one nut, and we made
You're
so much.
fucking kidding.
We made so much fun of him in high school, but
You
long
made
sto-
fun of a kid with one nut.
he owned it. And bro, and we're at this party too, a little side tangent, and we kind of brought that up, and everyone in the party, like the house was packed. We brought this up.
That's insane.
Everyone rushed to the bathroom to look at his one nut.
I
But
feel like you gotta say pause no Diddy after that.
pause, no,
No Diddy.
I didn't see it. I took his
Crazy.
word for it. But
I mean,
the doctor said he would never have kids, that he was sterile. He's
Wow.
about to have his third baby.
Oh
damn.
my God.
So-
Third?
Third child.
That
yeah.
is insane.
I mean,
With
listen,
one nut.
every time I think that I've lived an insane life, I sit on the couch with people like this because one nut, stealing SpaghettiOs at 2, dad's sterile, you and goddamn Alvin and the Chipmunk. What is even going on right now? That is the most insane story.
All
So,
we can say is miracles.
so when you say that, I imagine like you get Bruce Lee kicked in the chest, and all of a sudden your pants go.
Yeah, that's how he explained it.
No
Went to boot camp,
goddamn way.
got kicked in the chest, blew up his nuts.
Yo,
and
bro, I'm sorry if you're seeing this right now, because like, are you exaggerating or is that
I'm
dead
being
ass?
for real.
He's
Dead
being
ass.
dead for real.
Whoa.
That is
I'm being dead
crazy.
ass. Yeah.
Dang, the
Yeah.
one nut wonder.
The one nut wonder. It was
That's
The one
wild.
nut wonder
Yeah.
is wild
1.
way to express
Holy
it.
shit.
2 in 1, baby. That's all you need.
All right, so check this out. I love fast cars, right? And I personally, I don't know what it is. Like, I've always
Yeah.
been fascinated with like vehicles that go fast, like Need for Speed. You know what I'm saying? And so I have a turbo, vehicle right now.
Mhm.
How are you with driving?
Me
Do you
with
feel like you
driving?
could drive like a car like mine?
That's a good question. I've never been in a position like I've had a nice car. I had a 2023 Buick Enclave. It's like a cute little mom SUV. I've never really had something that was like, yeah, I'm gonna race car this. I'm gonna really take it to the T.
Yeah, I'm
gonna
captain
show
speeding
off,
tickets. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
yeah.
I've had speeding tickets throughout my life, like 5 over. Like, what are you gonna catch me for that? But like, I don't know. Like, I love cars, but I want something reliable. I'm that type of girl that's like low maintenance, but I'm like high maintenance at the same time.
Mhm.
So I try to like balance out the two when it comes to like cars. I don't know. Like, I'm a really grandma driver.
But so you would classify yourself as like a good driver though?
Like a good driver, yeah.
Because it's kind of like what's it called, like a stigma that what I'm saying, women
Women
don't
can't
really
drive.
drive, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
don't get me wrong. I love to have fun. I love shit. I like to have fun on the freeway.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, or
naturally,
back
naturally,
roads. But I also like, as person I am, I love to consider other people's safety into my pleasure.
It's
So
responsible.
Well, good on
You
you.
know what I mean?
Good on you.
Balance
There's
the
still
two.
good drivers. Not in
Yes.
Utah, apparently, besides
Yeah.
us three.
don't get
but-
me wrong.
yeah.
I'm an Aries. I have road rage.
Okay.
But
So, have you ever had like a crazy experience with a vehicle?
crazy experience. Yes. Oh my God.
Do tell.
And it's never been like really like something out of my control, but I remember like coming out of a parking or a apartment complex, and I had an all electrical vehicle. Remind you, this is my first time ever operating a vehicle that's like all electric.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm coming out and my steering wheel locks to the side, and I run into this other freaking car, and I'm sitting there like right as we crashed, and I'm like,
Wait, hold on, wait. So you're saying that you're in an electric car and the
Yeah.
steering wheel locked on you?
the steering wheel locked to the left side. And it's weird because it's like I had signs throughout like days prior. Like my car was like fully charged. but then it wouldn't start. And then like it wouldn't roll down the windows. It wouldn't lock the doors. It wouldn't go into reverse. And it was like this like knob that I would have this thing in the middle. Like I'm still trying to figure this out. I'm used to gas cars. Like I'm not somebody that's like, oh yeah, I'm just, you know, that bitch whipping this little whip.
What kind of car was it?
It was a Nissan
Leaf.
Leaf, yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Sometimes
Damn.
I'm sitting here trying to figure this bitch out. Like, but at the end of the day, like it led me into such a really vulnerable position. I actually got harassed over that. Because
Why?
Yeah. Because people were like, oh, she doesn't know how to drive. She's always constantly getting in trouble with the legal system and whatnot. It's like, y'all don't even know the position behind it. Like, my grandfather was paying for my insurance and he had missed an insurance payment. Like, I didn't even know what happened to him or like whatever happened because we haven't had contact in a while. But it led to a position to where it's like, I turned into the, like I said, the steering wheel.
So you got in a car accident with no insurance?
With no insurance.
Oh.
Worst situation ever. Don't ever, y'all. Don't ever, y'all.
Wait, okay, but time out. So did you crash? How was the people that you crashed into? Like, did they make it out okay? Like,
well, they wasn't in the car at the time.
It
was just parked
cars.
Hold up.
You crashed into a parked car?
Yeah.
Yo, imagine going in to get some Starbucks, right? And you over here having a great fucking day, and you turn around and all of a sudden there's a fucking Leaf, whatever you said, an electric Leaf crashed into your shit. And you're like, what the fuck?
Literally.
My car is wrecked the next moment. No,
Dang.
I was coming out of an apartment complex and I was like, I kind of came out of like a heated argument at the time because I was like really in love with this guy and I was like, damn, like I'm kind of pissed off a little bit. But then I was already, like I said, I had trouble with the car. Like later on, it wouldn't start. It wouldn't roll down the windows. It wouldn't like lock the doors or anything. So like, you know, we had to like jump start the car in order for it to like start. Because I knew I fully charged it. So I knew it wasn't dead. And I was like, what is wrong with this? And I just didn't take the signs seriously. So it ended up into my car just getting locked, like turning into like...
I'm going to be honest with you. If my car's doing any of those shit, I'm not driving it. Like, I'm just going to leave it there and call my mechanic. Like, I'm just being so real with you because, like, people die in car accidents. Is that the craziest, like, experience with a car you've ever had, or...
No. Oh, my God.
There is more, y'all.
There's more tea to it. Oh, my gosh. I remember on Christmas morning one time, I think it was around the time. So I had my kids upstairs, like they were fast asleep. And I had this experience where I'm like, you know, it's like 2 a.m. in the morning and I'm pretending to be Santa Claus because obviously I got to take that parent role. Like, we all know how that goes, you know, behind the screens.
I was pissed when I found out Santa Claus wasn't real. And dead ass, check this out. I got a loud ass mouth, if y'all can't tell. And I got in so much trouble one year because I told the rest of my cousins that Santa wasn't real and I showed them where the presents were. Yo, I got it from every one of my aunts and uncles and my mom. I had to watch everybody else open up presents and I was sitting there like this, y'all. I was like, oh, this some bullshit.
It's like, fuck Christmas.
Yo.
I don't get nothing. That's crazy.
But anyway, sorry, finish.
No, you good. Like, so what it kind of led me to is like, I was just minding my business throughout the night, you know, preparing to be Santa Claus. It was 2 a.m. I get a knock at the door, like banging on my door, like boom, 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 at 2:36 a.m.
That's very specific time.
Yes.
That's very specific.
No, because I looked at my camera.
It's embedded in your memory.
Yeah.
Okay. This must be traumatic. Whatever's coming
and
next.
And then I come to the door and I'm thinking, because I had a very crazy baby daddy. Like my son's father was somebody that like would just show up at random times. He wouldn't even tell me like I'm on my way or whatever. So I'm thinking like, oh, don't worry about him, whatever. I had a guest over looking after my kids and like, you know, prepping me for the, you know, just supporting me and whatnot and being there for me. Like we generally have a good time for the holidays. And I remember just boom, 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 boom at early clock in the morning. And they're like, hey, is this your 2023 Buick Enclave outside? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, well, it kind of blew up in flames and it's completely totaled. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm half asleep.
Did you wait? You just said
I'm
your
half asleep.
Your car is blown up. Who was knocking at the door?
The police.
Oh.
Oh my God.
And it reminds you, this is 36 minutes after I just laid my head down to go to sleep. I looked at the clock and it was like 2 a.m. And then 36 minutes later, it's like 2:36. Like, damn.
How does a car blow up?
We never really figured out. Well, we actually did more like along the way, but at the time it was really confusing because when I came out, they're like, yeah, like you want to come out and identify your car. So I come out, like there's caution tape everywhere. My car is completely like melted in the front, like completely melted.
Wait, so like you didn't hear the like?
No, I never heard anything, which was crazy because I was really good with my neighbors downstairs. So like they would report anything that they felt, but they did say something after the fact that like we heard something outside and we heard like we saw reflections because they're on the first floor. I'm on the second floor. So they see reflections of like the police officer lights and like the fire trucks and stuff being outside. And like, we just didn't know if it was like related to you until later, until I explained the story. And so they didn't really tell me like what was going on, but I came out and like, remind you, I'm like half asleep in my slippers and
it's cold as fuck in Utah. Like it's very cold out here.
Yeah. And so I come out and I'm coming under the caution tape and I see my car and I'm just like,
fuck.
What the hell just happened? How did this happen? Like it's a brand new car. It's 2022 and I got a 2023 car.
Yeah.
How is this happening? It only had 30,000 miles on it. So I'm sitting here like trying to question myself, like, how did this happen? And so we were trying to pick up the pieces, but we didn't get anything like clarified until later that somebody might have like probably put a burnt cloth under there and like lit it on fire. And then like the evidence is burnt. So they obviously can't tell who it was. Like it could have been really sneaky. It was a crazy experience.
I mean,
my car got blown into flames.
I've had haters before, but I've never experienced that. But like, what is your best guess on like why would somebody blow your car up? That's like domestic terrorism. Like what the fuck?
I don't know. I don't want to assume too much because I don't really want to like assume something that like really actually happened behind the screens. But for me, I feel like a lot of people were jealous. Like, how is it one moment that this girl can be homeless and she's struggling with this, and this? Because I'm really vulnerable about my position sometimes. Like, I want social media to see that like I'm an authentic person. I'm not just an artist. So like I'll share certain experiences part of my life. And when I went through that, it was more of maybe I shared a little bit more than I should have,
Yeah.
And it got to the point where people started questioning and they started tracking down my locations, who I'm hanging out with, where I work, like what's going on. And that's when all the bullying started. People started getting really into my business. Like, this bitch is lying. Like, girl, I'm just living life. But things happen, at the end of the day. So I went out and they even the officers and the paramedics that were, or not paramedics, but like the firefighters that were there, they're like, this does not seem like it was accidental. It seems like it was personal. Like you were targeted for sure. Because remind you, 2 to 3 days prior to that, which was crazy. This is why I believe in God. Oh my God. So I was planning to go see my sister out of town. It was like 2 hours away. So we had to drive 2 hours away. And remind you, I'm just somebody that had a little baby boy. And I have this little girl that's under 1 year old. So I had like 2 under 2, trying to balance this out. We come out and like, we got all our bags packed. I come out and my car's gone.
So
I'm sitting here like,
what? So you're saying this happened the night before your car blew up?
No, so this happened 2 nights before.
What the?
2 nights before.
A GTA? Grand Theft Auto?
Kind of is like... So I came out and my car was gone and I couldn't really explain why. Till the next day, I talked to the office and they sold my parking space to somebody else that would pay for it. And I'm like, but I paid for this. I own this parking space. Why are you selling it to somebody else? So they gave me another parking space. I got my car out of impound, whatever, Then the next day is when my car got keyed from my front rearview light to the back tail light. And I'm sitting here like, what the heck? And remember, at this time, I had 2 vehicles. I had a Kia Sorento, and then I had a 2023 Buick Enclave, which was a really nice updated SUV. And they slashed all my tires to my Kia, like trying to make it so I don't know who this person was. I caught somebody out of my window, like stealing my license plates.
Wow.
Where is this even at? Like what?
Salt Lake City.
Oh man, that's
a lot of things happen in Salt Lake City. But I don't know. It's weird going through an experience and you see things how they happen as the present moment, and then you're trying to comprehend like why they happened afterwards, And I feel like people just wanted me to fail. I kind of felt like a loser at the time. I was like, dang, like all these people talk shit about me over social media because I've already gotten bullied ever since I was a kid in high school. I gained over 300 pounds because growing up in foster care, it was like I gained so much weight from the medications they put me on because they didn't want to spend one-on-one time with me to be like, no, this is right from wrong. You can't do this or that, you know? So they would just put me on 25 pills a day. 25.
That's insane.
25. And
That's
5 of
insane.
those medications were for the same exact thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like that
Which
should
was
be
insane.
illegal.
So,
And like, I don't really know too much about like, you know, your experience like with other people or whatever. And so
yeah.
like, that's like some hard shit to go through. Like
No, it
that's like
is,
really
yeah.
tough. What's kind of like, why do you think all of those things happen to you?
I think it's my way of like growing up as a child. I didn't get what it meant to be as a parent. Like have a parent or somebody to show me what could happen to you if you didn't listen to your parents' advice. And so what I think about my childhood and looking back now is more of just like, okay, like these are these things from bullying to experience of like harassment or to hardships in life or to like emotional struggles or, you know, just general downships of life. Like I think of it as more of my way that it's parenting me because I didn't have those parents that showed me how to regulate my feelings or to how to walk me through life. And so I had to go through the experiences in order to understand it, to learn from it. And if I had to repeat the process, it's more of just because maybe I didn't learn something, you know? And so that's kind of what guided me and walked me through my adolescent years and my childhood years into my adult years. And once I figured that out and once, you know, think about being on 25 pills a day for like, since you were 2 years old until you're 16 years old.
Wait, every time I think you just said the most craziest thing I heard you say something like that. You're saying
Yeah.
2 years old? How
2
is
years
that
old.
legal? How's that? That's not.
I don't
think
even
that
know.
is.
But like, how do like taking a pill is like hard, right? Because it's not an
Yeah.
easy. You have to learn how to take a. How
Yeah.
do you teach a 2-year-old how to do that without choking? And you're saying you're on 25?
25 pills a day. I counted them myself. 25 pills a day. 5 of those being for the same reason to why I'm on that pill.
But how do you even diagnose a 2-year-old?
Psychologically, or what is it called? Where they get you in and they try to test you.
They psycho-evaluate you, but
Yes.
that's what I'm saying. At the age of 2, like your brain is nowhere near to being fully developed. Like, what are the implications of like medicating a 2-year-old?
I can't per se. That's their vision to think on. But for me, it was a really messed up situation. I would never do that. And I think more of it is just because like foster parents want to find the easy way out.
But aren't you still like on a bottle at 2 years old? Like,
yeah.
Like just
like
off
formula type shit.
Right,
Like
yeah.
you're still on some. This is where I'm like really trying to understand. I mean, I'm trying. I like, and believe me, I don't have kids, so I don't really understand like the childhood development. But like, do you even have like all your teeth at that point? Like, no.
No.
I just feel like I started to maybe like walk or run at like 1.5 maybe, and so 2 is not. I'm just really trying to like wrap my mind around what you're saying right now. That is wild shit. I don't know how that's legal. I don't understand. I just don't get it.
And every family was okay with that. Like all 400 of them were okay with giving you 25 pills a day.
Well, it's more of like if you kind of think about it, it's like you're a foster care parent and like you're accepting a child into your home. It's a different experience between like a foster parent versus like the child, their point of view. But like you're just trying to, as a foster parent, trying to regulate what's already been maintained in their past.
Yeah.
So if they've already been on medication, they're going to try to keep you on that medication or whatever, but they may not know the reasons to why somebody put you on that medication, right?
But what I'm trying to wrap my head around is this, right? I got nieces and nephews, and like some of them are very young, and trying to get them just to eat food in general can be very challenging.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about the time it would take you to make a child take 25 pills a day, and how none of those 400 parents like had a conscious. Like, I mean, I'm just saying that's like a wild thing to say.
When I was 16, it took 16 freaking years. But when I was 16, I had a foster parent that was like, I'm not okay with this. And that was like the best mom ever that saw something in me. She's like, I'm going to get you off all these pills. I want you to regulate what's actually meant for you. Like, I want you to regulate your own feelings. I don't want these medications controlling who you are. And remind you, if you're like 2 years old to 16 years old being regulated on pills, Your body's so used to being regulated on something that controls you for you, right? And you don't know how to regulate your own emotions. So I think that that's why like my adolescent years versus like my early adulthood years was so hard, because like my body's withdrawing from all this stuff. Remind you of people that are addicted to certain things. It's hard for them to kind of like withdraw from that. If I'm withdrawing for something I've been on for like almost my whole life, that's difficult. I can't regulate my own emotions because I'm used to the pills handling that, right? So I had to learn that as like an adulthood year. And I think that that's why I've gone through like a lot of trauma and different things. I was introduced to like a lot of different things at a late stage because of these pills like controlling me, you know? And so it led me into a lot of different situations that a lot of people are like, well, why do you have back-to-back negative things happening to you? It's part of my learning experience. I didn't have parents to teach me at this young age. I had the pills, I had the experience. That's what taught me to kind of live through that, you know?
So as of like today, 2025, completely sober off pills,
Yeah.
completely sober off everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I feel like that's like, I'm telling y'all, like every time I think I've heard the craziest shit in my lifetime, I guess I haven't. I mean.
Hey, everyone has a different experience.
It's a story.
That is like, okay, so I mean, I guess I'm kind of scared to ask this next question, but have we heard the craziest experiences you've ever had?
No. I have so much to tell us crazy.
Buckle up. All right, we listening. All right, go. What's the next one?
You know, I've gone through some family issues. I grew up with, as you all know, I've grown through foster care. I didn't know much what a family was. And when I created my own family, as not a fault of myself, I just chose to accept that like I was pregnant with this little girl. And I knew that I had to give her the best, beautiful life that I could provide her. Mm-hmm. Because I always wanted to be a mom. And I think more of it is because I want to give a kid what I never had as a child. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to like give her that emotional connection and that mental connection, because growing up, I didn't have that. And so like giving my kid what I never had was like a biggest blessing to me. And like, I worked 3 jobs. I worked construction 6 months pregnant. Literally. I was sanding down doors.
Wait. When you say
construction.
What? But like, I'm thinking like the people that I drive past at midnight on the roads that are like putting cones out, like you're doing that type of construction?
So I'm more of like, we worked on townhomes. So I would sand down doors and I would do like I would caulk kind of like the corners of the house and like help with the baseboards, clean the flooring before they put out the tile or certain things like that. Work on the roof, like the shackles. Is that what do you call it? Like the shingles yeah. Or whatever. Yeah. Like I clean and do that and like caulk the little bit in between. Like it
that's some hard ass fucking shit.
It is, you know, but it was crazy because my situation at the time, it was like, I didn't know what else to do. I felt really kind of helpless because I was like, I didn't know how I got pregnant the first time. I grew up not knowing what it was like to, I never got experience to like, what is a period? No one taught me about that. I had to go through it to understand it. I was left at a freaking Kmart having my first freaking period interaction. And that was the craziest experience.
What the fuck?
I'm like, I'm bleeding. And she's like, this foster care after worker was like, you know what that is? And I'm like, girl, I really don't. I'm scared. Like, what's happening to me? You know? So like growing up, I was really such a late starter from like sexual activity and like, relationships or like knowing drugs or alcohol, what the names or identify of like what they do to you. I was introduced to those super late. So I didn't understand what those were and like how they affected me until I actually went through the experience to like understand them, you know, or see somebody else in that position, you know? So that led me into a lot of crazy different things. Like it was a wild life. Like I had to do that all by myself.
Why you have not written a book yet? I don't know.
People have suggested that. You should write a book. Like
I think there's a good reason why. I'm literally my jaw's been dropped the entire episode. Like, bro, what is even going on right now? So, boom. All right. So, my mind is like completely blown in some of the experiences that we've heard. What do you think your craziest story is?
Oh my gosh. You know, you got me thinking about that because I've had a lot of crazy experiences. Like,
oh God, I feel it coming. I literally feel it coming.
You coming into more, you thinking that you're gonna hear something excited, and then it's just like, what the fuck? You know, dating scene was really hard for me growing up. I wasn't really attracted to guys at the time because I was more worried about like stability. I wanted to be stable. I wanted to present myself as somebody who was on track with things. So like when I stepped into dating stability, like the life of dating, it was different for me. The experience that I had, I fell in love with this guy, and I still love him as a person to this day. And I really think of him as like somebody who could be better, but he consistently, I feel, fails me upon what I think of him.
Well, like love will blind you.
You know,
like,
it really does.
Because
yeah.
like we all have like an idea about somebody, but very rarely do we believe them when they show us who they are the first time, right? We always make excuses.
Right.
We always say, oh, well, they didn't mean it, or they did A, B, and C, D. So like, is that what you kind of went through?
Confirmation bias.
Kind of, but like it's weird growing up because like I've already explained about like foster care. Like growing up, I didn't know much about like having a family. I wasn't really like, I didn't know what stability was. I didn't know what like having friendships is like and how to keep those. And then I was bullied throughout high school because of my weight of like 25 pills would put me on a day. Like it gained me weight. I was 300 pounds in high school. People made fun of me. People thought it was so funny that I was fat.
Yikes. And
it was so hard for me to accept that because I'm like, dang, like I know that I'm a beautiful woman, but how do I express being fat?
I mean, I'm glad you can laugh about it now, but like that sounds pretty traumatic.
No,
like,
it was at the time, but now like understanding it, of course, because like I feel like the real love comes within yourself, but like just going through, I don't know, it was a chaotic situation. And then leading into just being independent. Like you want what's best for yourself. You get into this moment where you're like, I'm going to grind hard. I'm going to be by myself. I'm not going to hang out with anybody. And then I meet this guy that I like really love. And then I'm going through like this love little ship relationship or whatever. He thinks it's not a relationship, but he's giving me all the signs it's a relationship. And then I'm falling in this category of like harassment and severe stalking.
Wait,
what? Like severe stalking. Like
he's stalking you or you're stalking him?
No. Other people
are stalking you guys as a couple?
And myself as a person, an individual. It was like the creepiest, weirdest thing that I've gone through. Like I didn't really understand like the concept of it until like I visually like went through everything and I see like the patterns and things that like they did. But people would stalk me, like the friends I hang out with, the cars that I would drive, the jobs that I would get. They would even get to a point where they would pay for my past situations. Like I told y'all about the car accident. Like my grandfather was paying for my electrical vehicle, my Nissan Leaf, when I got in that accident. And remind you, he didn't even pay the insurance that month. So I'm like, I got charged with like having no insurance during that accident, you know? And then like I got projected over social media as like, she drives without insurance and no license. And this is like a big deal. And then people started worrying about like my jobs, people I hung out with, my relationships, and started getting in between that. And then they would tell their own story over social media that felt like obviously comfortable to them. And it got out of hand. You asked me what happened at the airport, right?
Yeah.
It got way into more than that. It was insane. You know, I kind of had a battle towards this like mentality, whether like, are these people really after to get me? Like I felt so traumatized. I couldn't even feel safe to like, when I was in my most vulnerable positions, which is why a lot of negative things happened to me. I couldn't reach out. I couldn't trust nobody. But also like, I realized like the craziest time of my life was more of like between that I made a family, I lost it. That was really hard for me. And then between that and like finding myself as who I am without like having to maintain a family or like having something that I always wanted. And it pushed me into this mental and emotional society in my own world and environment that made me feel like nobody could understand.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, I'm somebody who like, I go to church and I'm, you know, fairly religious. Like I believe in God. And one of the lessons that's my favorite from the New Testament is like, he without sin cast the first stone, and
Yeah.
so basically what that means is like, if you're not perfect, if you don't throw stones at a glass house type of deal, right? And like,
Right.
it sounds like you had a lot of people who kind of said things about you without actually getting to know you, or do you feel like you
100%,
gave them
yeah.
like good cause to feel that way?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I went through a lot of that. And I feel like that's where I get a lot of like people from the outskirts of like obviously never known me. They misinterpreted who I am as a person because they benefit so much upon what other people got to say about me. And they're like, you asked me what happened to the craziest part of my life. Like, this was the craziest thing that's happened to you. Excuse me, I've had people make up lies about me, delusional stories of like, this is why she did this is why she went through this, and this, and then they'll take certain things because I was in a vulnerable position where I'm not gonna lie, I take accountability. I put things over social media because I felt like it was my last resort. I had no help. I was so in this position to like, somebody please understand me. Somebody please help me. I don't care if that's a meal, a ride, or one night to sleep on your dang floor. Like, I was in a bad position where I needed someone to just talk to me or understand me. And I feel like a lot of people thought of it as like, she's attention seeking, she's pretending, she didn't really go through these things. And it's like, yes, I went through these things. If you didn't walk in my shoes, you wouldn't understand what I had to endure throughout my life. And also fixing how to recover from like being on 25 pills a day and regulating emotions on top of the trauma that's already happening to you. So if you're already trying to figure out who you are on top of the trauma that's happening to you, it makes things, I feel like, 10 times worse.
I'd imagine so.
It's just a crazy experience, So like, I got misinterpreted growing up so much because of the trauma that I had to endure. But it built me as a person. I've learned now, like, as the person that I'm nowadays, like the harassment I go through, people talking crap about me, people spreading lies, or like they'll even make like social media profiles that are in my same name or like the past usernames that I've had and be like, oh yeah, like, write DMs to themselves and portray that like I made these comments or I made these situations of either being racist or doing this or that. Like, it got so deep.
Wait. Oh, wait. Hold up.
It got so deep.
Every time, Ty. Every single time I think I've heard. Wait.
People were making fake profiles of you and fabricating stories with those profiles?
Because like we don't know knowledge. Did you know that? I had no idea. So we're hearing this for the first time.
Yeah.
So wait, what? Dive into that for a what?
So I talked about my past of growing up in foster care and like, I created a family, I lost it out of something that wasn't my own sense and or doings or, my fault or wrongs. I participated in what had to regain from that and what I had to do to get that back. And I got judged a lot of the way of trying to find myself and find my reason to keep going. And I ain't gonna lie. When I traveled, I was thinking I was living in this world of like, oh, there's this girl out of state that's gonna take care of me. There's this girl that's gonna like love me for who I am. She says I can live in her house. Like, I have a room to myself, something that I haven't had for a while. Remind you, I've been sleeping in front of IHOPs. I've been sleeping on benches in IHOPs, like knocked up on coffee to keep myself awake for multiple days just so I can sustain to like stay out of the streets and not put myself in a more vulnerable position because I don't want to put myself there, And so after that, I ran into a lot of different situations that was like really rough for me because I feel like the girls just kind of like misinterpreted me. And it just led me to so many different things, like counting on people when I lost trust. Like,
but you're saying you said people made a profile and acting like you racist?
Yes. Which is
he laughs. He's a cold
which
nigga.
is crazy.
Trolling.
Remind you, I'm Puerto Rican, Portuguese, and white. I'm mixed. A lot of people get that misinterpreted because they don't really know my father. My mom's white as heck.
But aren't your kids like biracial?
Yes, my kids are black. They come from Kenya, Africa.
What kind of stuff were they saying? Like, I just hate black people or something like that?
No. So what ended up happening is like, so long.
The way he said that is crazy.
It was like crazy, how everything kind of came up. I didn't really understand the concept of it until after all of it was done. I kind of thought it was a crazy experience throughout the process. And I was like, dang, these people are really on my butt. But then when I understand what they were trying to do after kind of everything. I was like, okay, that makes sense. But like they literally, remind you, the Instagram that I have now, I had original Instagram and it got to like 15K followers or 1,500 followers. Like I was doing pretty good for myself. You know, I had a lot of connections. I was doing good for myself. I was touring. I was doing shows in and out of state. That's how I made my money when I was, you know, freshly coming out of foster care. I would take care of my birth mom. I'd take care of my birth sister and her niece when she came about. And I was traveling, you know, doing different experiences such as modeling and helping set up for events, whatnot, to take care of my family and myself and support myself. And then when I found out that like I was attracting a lot of attention, I didn't realize what that would bring me. And when that brought me such negative attention, I didn't know how to take that. So I was sitting there and like, okay, well, why do these people care who I hang out with or like where I go, whatnot, blah, 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 blah. Then it got to a point where like girls started calling my jobs and like telling them she's a murderer, like she harasses other people, she does this, this, and this, like, I'm sitting here like, what?
Wow.
I'm like,
where does the murder come from, though?
No, first of all, how did you freaking find out where the frick I work at? That's my question. How did you figure out where I work at? Just to report this stuff and try to, I got fired.
They reported to your boss with that story?
I got fired because
Damn.
it was, these girls were, so I worked at Dave & Buster's as a host. I'd be at the front desk. I'd answer phone calls. You know, I give out game cards. I get tips. I was making most of my money off of tips. Like, I'm a good worker. So I'm making most of my money off of tips on top of making $14-15 an hour. And these girls, like, started to come in the phone calls and be like, yeah, like, can we speak to her manager, da-da-da-da. And then they would even, like, tell my manager, like, she, you know, she lost her family and she did this, and this, and like, you shouldn't hire her. She's not trustworthy, whatever, da-da-da-da. And it got to the point where it complicated for people that were like customers trying to call in and like, obviously, like, can I get an order? Can I, you know, order game cards or this, or like, what's, you know, ask questions. And so I got an apartment at the time on top of like already going through this experience within 2 years, but I didn't realize what was catching on yet, you know, and it just led me to a position of getting fired. I got fired because it was so unprofessional. It prevented other people from coming in my job and actually like getting the help that they needed. So they fired me. And then I found out I was pregnant with identical twins like 2 months later, like a month later or whatever.
I'm not gonna lie to you. This shit sounds like a movie. Like it sounds
I feel like I'm going through a movie.
Like,
no, I feel like it's a whole made up movie, and I've actually gotten a lot of like suggestions, like make a book. You should make a book about your life. How does it impact you and gone through certain experiences? Because I feel like my life is super inspiring, but also like very entertaining for some people.
Well, I mean, I feel like a lot of people get a speeding ticket and that ruins their whole day. But what you've been through is like back to back wild things that like I feel like would take a lot to kind of come back from.
Yeah,
that's like
props to you.
Holy.
No, and I give a lot of my props to myself because I actually do question myself to this day. It's like, how are you still so kind? How do you still want to give back? How do you still want to take care of people? How do you still care about people that don't even care about you? How do I still have this kind heart? I could have easily been made of this person who just had an evil heart and did the same thing you did to me. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I still, the charistic person I am and what God's trying to show me is I have a better purpose to really like see myself from a point of view. And that's why it made me believe that like all the things throughout my whole life has graded me to be like the experience I've gone through. I've never had families. So, like these experiences that I've walked through, like learning a period at a young age, learning what sexual intercourse is a later age in life. Like I was able to grasp, to understand that these are my teachers. These are not something that's meant to make me look down or like, I don't got to compare myself to other people, but these are things that put me in a position to like learn because I didn't have parents growing up. So I'm really grateful for those things that have built me into that position. That's kind of how I see an adult year of where I'm at right now, because you can't really forever just be like, well, how these bad things happen to me. I don't like feeling like a victim. That's not my thing. I love feeling like a survivor of things and finding a positive way to get out of something. And so I think that's why I get a lot of hate, probably because one moment I'm posting I'm homeless and the next moment I got a crib and a car. And it's happened 5 times in a row. Like 5 times in a row.
Hold up. I just okay. So wow, we have talked about a lot of very like kind of traumatic things that you've experienced. What are some
Yeah.
of like your best fun memories that you've had?
My best fun memories. I recently took a trip out to LA, and that was actually really fun. I got to meet a lot of different people. You know, growing up, I didn't think that I was meant for the music industry. I got to connect at a later age through like my auntie, and she's like, "You always sung since you were like 2 years old. You know, every word to every song, you can hear it one or two times, and you already just know the lyrics." And so I was made for music. I felt like my younger years, I was like, I'm made for music. And so when I started having these experiences, actually at 18 years old, I took a tour out of state. I didn't even intentionally try to get out of foster care and try to get stable. I just immediately was like, I'm going to travel. I'm going to really take this stuff seriously. So I did a couple of shows. I got a couple of offers from record labels, like $300,000 deal, a $200,000 deal. I thought they were scams, so obviously I passed on to them because I didn't really trust that they were actually gonna like sign me or do this or that. Later I found out they were actually legitimate, and I'm glad that I didn't take those opportunities because later on in life I got bigger opportunities. So it kind of led me in a position to be like grateful and then and take the pain to turn into something positive, and that's when I started to experience more positive situations. So I've gone through like a recent experience and a lot of throughout my life. I can't say my whole life was filled with trouble, but like most of it was. But I've had a lot of great things. Like I've had strangers, you know, pay for a meal for me, let me sleep on their couch, or drove me somewhere, or you know. But I've had a lot of wild experiences. Like I've started recently I started investing into my music that led me to a lot of different opportunities and possibilities. I actually connected with Molly Mall, one of the most famous producers, like big, well known. I shouldn't say famous, but like really big known. I've talked to him over line. Like he's shown passion for my music in such a genuine way, that has led me to a lot of amazing directions. And also I've met people that have like taken record labels and like have record labels, and they've led me to different scenarios of like what I could do better. There's this girl called Mia Snow, and her dad has actually offered me to do a show out in LA recently. And it was supposed to be last month, but I couldn't make my show out there. And he was like, I'm going to put you on for free. You don't have to pay for it. Just get a ticket and come out there. Unfortunately, I just had gotten my apartment after, you know, struggling with homelessness. And I just didn't feel like I was ready for that. And so I didn't take that opportunity. But my experience with being out in LA, I got to utilize and know what the industry is like and what it's like to be in the industry as a female. And I think more part of that just made me want to be independent because of the experience that I had. Like, yeah, I've had good experiences, but I've also had negative experiences with it. But I've had a lot of wild, crazy, like fun experiences.
I mean, list one off. I mean, you know, there's always a cloudy day, but the sun always comes out. I feel like we need some sunshine in this. Like I'm
getting a little.
Normally,
you know, as a kid, I actually grew up in this little.
Like, hold on, yo, you so funny ass thing, bro.
Growing up in foster care was kind of crazy because, like,
Hold on. He's so stupid. Okay, let me recompose. Stupid ass face. Oh shit. Oh, okay. Give us a moment in your life that you're happy about, that you're like, this is one of my best memories.
Now y'all are really trying to get me emotional and shit.
Well, let's rewind. Hold up, back up the truck. No, we want to.
No, it's a good thing in a way.
We want to give people hope. Like no matter what you go through, like you know, once you climb that mountain, once you get over those obstacles, whether they be emotional, physical, or whatever, like there is a bright side at the end of it all. Like, what's one of your bright sides where it's like, I made it through all of this and I got to experience this. Like, let me tell you a quick story real quick. My family loves to go to Lake Powell. I don't know if you guys have ever been there, but
I've heard of it.
There's this magical place called Lone Rock, and it's just this lone ass rock. The name itself kind of describing. And one time, me and my cousins, we get on a little paddle board and we get our little fishing poles and we start, you know what I'm saying, wheeling ourselves out there, right? And it's a long trip. Like it took us a half an hour to get there. And so we're over there, right? And I'm like fishing. I'm talking with my cousins, like we're laughing. And all of a sudden, I'm like looking this way. I cast my pole, and my pole flies out of my hands. And I'm looking up. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I caught a duck. Like, I caught a whole duck. And this duck is just like minding his business with all, because you know how ducks are. He's got a bunch of little girls with him. Imagine his surprise that he all of a sudden has a fishing hook in him. And I didn't do this on purpose. Like, this is an accident. But there goes my fishing pole. We spent the next hour and a half trying to just, because he'd land, we'd paddle over there, you know, and I'd get in the water and try to like help the duck out because I love animals.
Yeah.
It was wild. We eventually helped the duck out, and I'm sure he went back and saw all of his duck friends like, you're not going to believe this. But like,
You caught him mid-flight? Like,
no. Like he was in the water just chilling. And I think like as my like fishing line hit it, because what? I think that like he had swam into like the hook at just the right moment, because I'm not looking. I'm just like, when you cast, like sometimes, you know, I'm like, watch how far I can throw that. Yeah. I don't know how it happened, but long story short, I caught a duck, right? That's a core memory that I'll never forget. That's like made me laugh and smile. Obviously, we helped the duck, and I love animals, but like, who catches the duck with a fishing pole? Feel me?
Insane.
So like, what's one of those memories for you that you're like, I was wild as hell, like, you know?
Did you ever catch a duck with a fishing pole?
Hell no.
Yo, crazy.
That's impressive, by the way.
I mean, me and the boy Legend of Trust, we actually did a video at a club out here. It's called The Den, and I you know, using some dollar bills, I caught some other things with that. You know, we were. Oh, did you? You can see it on my Instagram. But yeah, so I'm a good fisherman. You know what I'm saying? But just not in that experience. So yeah.
Gotcha.
Little inside joke for everybody.
Not fish.
I mean, hey, but yeah. So what's one of those memories for you?
Whew, shit.
I feel like if we put auto-tune on that would be a wild ass, like, that'd be like some T-Pain shit.
Oh my gosh. You know, the times I've lived for my life is things that I've always wanted as a child. I don't even know if I should bring this experience up, but like, it brought me so much. I don't know. Like, I have so much different things that brought me happiness. I've been through, my life hasn't been, like, most of my life has been trauma, but also I've had beautiful things that have come out of it. I can't lie about those things. Like, there's been so many just different random things that have been so beautiful about it that I can, you know, internally be grateful for, and that like people contribute to. But I think one of my top tiers, like giving birth to my kids, two is like falling in love with this man that I really was like overhyped over. Like, I wanted to be this wife. So I did these little spiky little fun things for him. You know?
I mean, we could tell by your outfit, you definitely probably like, the type to do some pretty wild, you know what I'm saying? Like,
getting into that story is crazy. I went through a lot of my happiest time over that because I was overcoming a lot of like trauma at the same time. So I was trying to find happiness and spark throughout the process. I ain't gonna lie. It's led me to a lot of different situations. But I think more of it was more just being included and welcome into certain things. But I had this situation where I don't even know if this is off topic, but like, I remember him just inviting me out to the club. Mm-hmm. I go to the club. I'm like, all right, we're drinking, we're having a good time. He's sitting here like, remind you, I've had like past experiences with him that I think he has trust issues and he don't want other girls to see that I'm with him. So he's like looking out and doing this and that. I don't know. The best thing that ever brings me happiness is when somebody brings me full undivided attention. Like, makes me feel like I'm really the only one in the picture that makes me feel it. But like I could tell so many different stories, but like this man has made me feel like I am the person that I could just be myself with. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this on camera, but we came home from the club, try to do a little, you know, sexy time, and it got a little spiced up. I woke up in the same position, just, you know, sitting there holding it, and I'm waking up and I'm like, this bitch is soft.
Wait, hold on, wait a minute. Wait, whoa.
Y'all passed out in the middle of it, huh?
We passed out in the middle of it. But he reminded me beforehand, he's like, I can't keep it up when I drink. Like, this is why we gotta pregame beforehand. And so we tried to pregame. We did. But, you know, knowing us, like, it's a different story. To me, shit. Like, I'm a freak. I'm trying to go all night, baby. Like, what you up to? 20 minutes later, let's do it again. Okay. Like, no, but for real, like, I was really, and that's more of just because I was so emotional and mentally connected to this guy.
You're in love with him, right?
Exactly. Like, I wanted to give him more of that, but it was like one-sided. It was so weird. You found out later, but whatever. But like the wildest experience was like just showing like that whole time of knowing him, like it's just wow, it's crazy. Like we've had a lot of crazy experiences towards each other, and I don't think I've had anything crazier than that other than a couple other situations that brought me to.
But you're saying that that's one of the moments that brought you like
true happiness.
Okay.
That made me feel like I actually like wasn't pretending to do something that made me happy, or I didn't have to like force myself to feel like I'm happy. Because like think about it, if you're growing up with so much trauma, you don't know what happiness feels like. You don't know what joy feels like. You have to force yourself to really like certain things, or to even have the confidence to do music or do this. And which is why I'm proud of myself that I do certain things that I do nowadays, such as music or like, you know, content or whatever. But like growing up, it was really hard to like have interest in things. So I was always depressed. Like I was always shown like the negative side of things. I was never shown like the positive example of things. And so when I got those experiences, I took full advantage. Like I fell in love with it. Like didn't matter if it was the person, the experience, or like just the situation itself. I tried to take full advantage of that. And that just led me to like so many wild times in my life. Like I've had so many crazy experiences that was like top tier. I remember
oh God, here it comes.
Oh
here it comes.
God.
I can feel it.
I remember this one time, like I was chilling with friends, right? I was in between cribs, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna experience my life, have some fun, you know. Like I just came back from like touring out of state and doing shows, so I come back to this group that I knew of, and we rented this hotel room, and we were like, okay, we're going to chill out for the night. We're gonna some people are going to sip, some people are going to do some other things, you know, like take little things and put them on their tongue, let it, you know, digest for a little bit. And boy, when I say that was a trip, oh my gosh, I felt like I was tripping. We took acid. That was my first time ever like taking acid, really in seeing what the experience had an effect on me, because like I come from a family that's like used to pill popping and like drugs and like alcohol. So when I took those things myself, I didn't really have an effect to it. So when I took acid, I was like, I'm tripping balls right now. I'm freaking tripping balls. So what ended up happening is like I'm sitting here at this hotel and they're playing games like mind tricks on me. They're like, you know, we're just going to chill out for the night. Everyone's just going to vibe for a little bit, you know, take little trips and like just wait for it to dissolve under your tongue. So we're sitting there waiting for it to dissolve under our tongue. Well, meanwhile, this homie is like, let me show you my crib. Like I'm selling this 2-bedroom, you know, 3-bath house. Like, do you want to come look at it? Like, I'm like, sure. Like I'll come, you know, see what, check it out or whatnot. And I was like, but we just tripped. How long does it take to kick in? Because remind you, I'm new to this. I don't know anything about like taking a trip or anything. And so I'm sitting here like, all right, you know, we take this trip and we're like, okay, we can make it back in time. We're trying to like negotiate between like when it's going to kick in. Like, are we going to be back in time before it kicks in? He's like, yeah, no, we chill. So we go to this house and I'm walking in and he's like, yeah, this is the kitchen. This is the bedroom. Like, this is what we do. This is how we like, you know, decorated the house. This is like the vibes here. Like, it comes from this, you know, like trying to give me the background of everything. Well, then remind you, I'm like, all right, bro, we got to start getting going. Like, I'm kind of bored here. Like, thank you for showing me around. I appreciate it. Well, we get in the car and he's like, bro, I can't, I'm seeing colors.
I'm tripping balls.
No, for real. He's like, I'm seeing colors, bro. I think we need to call the homeboy. And I was like,
oh, no.
Remind you, this is my first time. So I don't know how these things are affecting me. It hasn't hit me yet, right? Hasn't hit me yet. So I'm sitting here like,
and he's supposed to be the veteran.
Yeah, he's supposed to like vouch for me and like be on top, like take care of me, right? He's like, you know, he's sitting here tripping balls. He's like, I'm tripping balls. Do you know how to drive? I was sitting here, I didn't even got my license. Like, don't even put me in that position, you know? I was like, I don't trust doing that because like I'm the responsible girl. Like if I'm drinking even one shot, I'm not gonna drive. I just
That's
wanna be
probably
safe
a
for
wise
everybody.
decision not to
You know
do.
what I mean?
Yeah,
But
understandable.
so it led to a whole situation. It reminds me, this is a cool, like, freaking night. Like, it makes me kind of laugh because it's like, it's funny what type of shit that people are going to be pulling on you. So we get in this car, he calls the homeboy, he's like, bro, I'm freaking tripping. Like, can you come pick me and homegirl up? Like, we tripping. He's like, I thought he was going to make it back in time before it all hit y'all. And I was like, he's like, nah. You got to come pick us right freaking now. So the homeboy comes, he come pick us up. He drive the truck back. Mind you, I'm like passed out during the whole time. We get to the hotel. And then I was like, bro, I need to go lay down in the bed. Is it cool if I like lay down in the bed and like just chill for a minute? He's like, yeah, go ahead. So I sit here and I lay inside the bed. Bro, they start pulling mind tricks on me. They start freaking turning on and off the lights and be like, it's time for school. Wake up. I'm sitting here like, what are you freaking talking about? Like, obviously it just hit me, right? So I'm not like understanding what the heck is going on. I'm seeing colors. I'm seeing different things throughout my vision. And I'm like, bro, what are you guys talking about? It's time for school. I'm trying to rest. Last thing I remember, I'm just trying to get some rest. I ain't feel good, you know?
Getting you in your head.
Right. And they start playing this mind trick. They're like turning off the lights and turning on. It's time for school. Like, you got to get up. Like, you've been sleeping for 8 hours. And I'm like, I just lay down. I remind you, I'm sane. So, like, I feel like I know what I'm talking about. But then they tripping me out even more. I'm like, did I really sleep for 8 hours? Like, what is going on here? And so, more to the story, we start freaking, they start, like, you know, freaking me out more. And then, like, we got to go back to the house that we was just at. Like, so they get me in the car. I'm, like, sleeping the whole way. They get me back. And then we come back to the hotel. They start doing that, like, light flickering thing again.
I'm sorry to laugh. Like, that honestly seems fucked up.
That's terrible.
I cannot believe what I'm hearing right now. Like, that sounds... I would be tripping fucking nuts.
Yeah,
I would never, honestly, I would never try acid or anything like that, but that doesn't sound like a fun experience at all.
It was funny because it was like, I was kind of playing along with it at the time, so I thought they were like, you know, joking with me, because I'm that type of girl that like I'll take the hose spray and like spray you and like, you know, pull pranks on you. Like, you don't sleep at our house when we're drinking. I'm going to pour water on you to wake you up and think it's funny, you know. I'm that type of girl. But at the end of the day, it's like when somebody does it to me, I'm kind of caught in that position. It's like, do I need to be mad about this? Or do I just accept it for how it is, you know?
I mean, it's different from alcohol compared to psychedelics.
Right.
But
that was, especially for your first time, like being on psychedelics. Yeah, it's like, you don't know how
especially your first time.
You know how to obtain that. You're like,
no, because when you're...
am I tripping? Am I not? I really felt like I was going through some shit.
Because you're so susceptible to your thoughts. Mm-hmm. And if your environment is playing into those thoughts, then you can just spiral.
Yeah. And that's exactly how it was dangerous for me. So towards the end of the night, it kind of just led into like, you can't kick it at the freaking hotel no more. Like, you got to find somewhere else to go. So I started walking down the street and I'm like, I got to call the homeboy. I was like, bro, I'm tripping. Can you come pick me up? Like, I'm really tripping. It might sound really crazy to you, but these people are like traumatizing me. They're tripping me out. Like, they're purposely creating scenarios to make me think that like, they're like gaslighting me basically. Like, this is what's happening when really it's not happening like that. Yeah. So like telling the whole homeboy, like, you got to meet up with me. He's just like, yeah, I could be there for you, whatever. Just give me a minute, right? And then I see these homeboys getting in the same truck that I was in, that they took me to this house two times. And they start circling around this freaking gas station. It was at a Maverick, like right behind of the hotel. I was like, is that them? Why are they here? Why are they trying to like... It almost felt like they were trying to intimidate me. Because they knew I didn't have a ride. They knew I had nowhere to go. It's like, why are you trying to like do donuts in a parking lot?
Are you sure you weren't just like tripping out of your mind? Like,
hey, I may have, but at the end of the day, like, I was kind of sane to it too. It was a whole trip. I kind of felt like, but at the end of the day, I laughed at it because it was like, these guys are so funny to make up such a scene, just like make me seem like something's happening when it's really not.
I'm not gonna lie, like none of what you're talking about seems fun at all. Like, am I tripping? Like, no, like that does not sound fun. That sounds like...
No, this shit was crazy. But it was funny because it was like, I never had like an experience like that where I like, I don't know, you got me questioning myself, but I don't know. It's the experience that I've been through. I try to take a positive out of every negative situation.
Oh, right? We can tell.
Yeah.
We can tell. Okay. We can tell you're very positive to all of this. Like, wow.
Yeah, no, that was like one of my wildest, I would say wildest experiences. Like, you tripping me out a little too much.
Yeah.
Did you do acid since? Or did you just go through that
No.
experience and you're like, I'm never touching that shit
No,
again?
I never touched that shit ever since. I've tried like other things, you know, shrooms.
How long ago was that? Were you still in high school?
No, so this was shortly after high school. This was like I was around like 19, almost 19 years old when I had that experience. But like I said, I didn't really know much about like drugs growing up. So I kind of like in what is it called? Like in
Introduced.
I was introduced as an innocent way to these things, so I didn't understand until I went through the experience or learned what they were, or until somebody actually described it to me. And that's like been a lot of my experiences throughout my life because I didn't grow up knowing what certain things were. I didn't have a mother and father, you know? So like I had to figure out these things for myself, which I don't give so much like hardship on myself because then I'm like, all right, like I didn't know these things at first, but I learned and grew from these experiences. And that's why I can find a positive perception of every situation, especially if it was negative, because like they were meant to be in my path to grow. Because I already know like the whole rest of my life is going to be amazing. It's going to be truly amazing. Like I'm going to be on the time of my life. Feeling like I'm high, you know.
So I'm like really glad that you brought that up. Like where do you see your life like going from here?
From here on forward, well, I've developed like surprisingly throughout the negative experiences. I've had a lot of more negative experiences than positive experiences, and so I'm really surprised to see the connection I've made in the music industry. Something that always kept me together was music, and putting myself in a position to like have confidence to do something that I felt that was like myself, but I wasn't like pushing towards to have attention or to get a reaction out of somebody else to like gain attention. Music has been something towards out my life. I mentioned my aunt like hyping me up. I knew lyrics after just hearing one or two times to it, and I loved how I've connected with Molly Mall. I've connected with people in, you know, Interscope Records. I've connected with people. I literally was signing a record label with Capitol Records. And I had dropped that, and my dad has gone into debt just to get me out of that. He's connected with people like produces his work with Weekend, Usher, like so many different people. And seeing that just makes me feel like I have a chance, because if I have these connections and I'm gaining such attention from people that are coming up in the music industry, such as like Stiff Barbie and she's a beautiful girl, and Mia Snow, and getting invited to be on like music studios and performing live like for free and being flown out and do this, and I have to take care of certain, you know, things to get there. Like it makes me feel like I have a bigger purpose. Music has always pushed me into a point where like I can connect with myself, not only that, but reality, and like connect with other people. It's like knowing that I can have confidence in doing something I love and know that I'm good at it. I feel like I'm confident in the music industry, not only that, like the modeling industry, and I'm really good with networking. I'm really good at sales. I'm really good at like selling people to things. And so like my ultimate goal is like a business. And
All right, time out. Sell me this pen.
okay.
I'm just kidding.
This is called the Malabar. This is the most amazing thing. It does not have nicotine, but it gives you the exact things that you're looking for and you're craving. You want to pick something up and put it to your mouth, you got it.
Pause, no Diddy.
No Diddy.
Okay. That's wild. That's wild. So you're really looking forward to
Yeah.
just being a music artist, and like that's what brings you happiness and joy. Is there anything else you're kind of hoping for yourself over the next, 50, 60 years of your life?
You know, there's a lot of room to grow. I can't really say what I see myself in that long of period of time. There's so much to learn. I can really develop a new talent within that time. I can develop of knowing something that I didn't think that I would be good at beforehand, or of certain interest into. So I just want to start my own business. That's mainly like my own thing. I have a really big heart for helping people.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can find something that helps other people, but also like benefits myself, I think that's kind of where I will strive, especially when I'm really good in the sales business. Mind you, sales.
I just feel like in today's day, there are a lot of very attractive celebrities. You know, I mean, I got a little celebrity crush. I'm sure you do. But the real question is, who's your celebrity crush?
Me. Period. I'm my celebrity crush. I'm waking myself up every day. I'm gonna freaking get in and eat it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, wait,
I'm
hold
gonna
on.
eat that
Whoa.
shit if I was myself. Period.
So, like, are you you're attracted to yourself in that way?
I think throughout my life, I've had a lot of experience where I didn't love myself, and now that I'm like overly in love with myself, yeah, of course.
Yeah, and that's good. That's good. Everybody should love themselves, but that's wild. So that is your celebrity crush, you, right?
Myself.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Well,
I
you
mean,
hit
if
it.
I had to date the opposite gender, it'd probably be like, I really think that Jason Derulo is fine. So
Okay.
Chris Brown.
I mean, that's
Naturally.
Aaron
Yeah.
girls be saying Chris Brown. It's just like, you know, but yeah.
Well, you heard it here first. Where can people find your music?
People can find me on my music on SoundCloud, Apple Music. What is it called?
Spotify.
Spotify, definitely Spotify. I'm out on all platforms at Malexa G, MALEXA GEE. My Instagram is Mal is beautiful, MAL and is beautiful. Y'all can find me on there. I not only post part of my life that's more of just music, but just a little personality of like what do I do during my life, you know? Things I eat, places I go, people I hang out with, things I do. So y'all can spice up on there. I like to put in a little bit like spice, you know? I like to be goofy and just do things out of the fun and the spunk of things. You know, I'm an Aries myself, but yeah, definitely check me out on all platforms. I'm pretty interesting if you ask me.
I mean, you're obviously very entertaining. But yo, all right. So I need y'all to drop in the comments. Should we have her back as a guest again? Did you guys like the stories? We need you guys to like, subscribe, comment, show love to the page so that we can continue to bring more guests on to just, you know, entertain you guys and also bring you stories that you have never heard of. I've heard at least 15 shocking stories during this episode. I mean,
which is crazy.
yeah, no, it's been wild. But anyway, episode number 5, Call ATM Podcast. We out.